So I know normally this is the part where I make like some little joke, some quip or something like that to try and be funny or entertaining. But I just wanted to thank everybody who's helped grow the channel in the last year. I know my videos have been real sporadic throughout the course of it, but anybody that's hung around even for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, watching the entire video, honestly, thank you. Anybody that's subscribed, thank you. Hopefully we can grow more within the coming year. That is the aim, that is the goal, both here and over on Twitch. Either way, I appreciate it, and let's get into that profile. So, the new purple boy on the block, Fenrilooga, and the best boys throughout the entire line. It's a very fun deck. I enjoyed playing it. I really liked it since the introduction of Fenrir into the card game, as well as Seekers. That being said, the deck is straightforward, but at the same time has a few deviation points depending on what's going on that you can make use of from the non-line cards. But getting into it, aside from our 4 of Balmon as our egg of choice, since when we discard a card, we can trigger that evolution, we run a lot of cards that facilitate that too. But into the level 3s now, we've got a full set of Lugamon. Lugamon's not a search or anything like that, but it'll gain a memory by placing an IG from hand or trash, so you can get set up out of the trash if one unfortunately got milled. And then the inheritable, when you play a Dark Beast or SOC trait, gain a memory. That's going to come up a lot. And then into our next and last set of level 3s, playing a full set of Dracmon from BT9. The on play is the main reason here, because you're going to flip 3 cards, and then if you see a Dark Beast, an additional Dark Beast, you're going to put one of those in the trash, one into your hand, so it's going to let you set up your trash, set up your hand. The third card will get bottom decked, so that part really doesn't matter. I'm not sure on the ruling, though, of which happens first, if you only flip one, if you would add it to hand, or if you would trash it, saying it the trashing option is stated first. And then the inheritable can be a wave to climb if you are in a position where you really need to, because the piece you need is in the trash. And then our last level 3s, we're running 2 Fastcomon and 2 Fastcomon. So we're running 2 of each from BT13 and the Beelzemon Precon, one to be a blocker in a pinch, and then the other one for the on deletion and inheritable to just draw some cards if we need to. Other good options are obviously Psychemon, Gazimon if needed. Probably Psychemon would be the preferred, and I would actually cut the draw ones for the Psychemon. Now, going into the level 4s, we'll start with a tech option first, which is just a 1 of Sangloop. Sangloop has no effect other than its inheritable, which will let you, when attacking, Digivolve into a Dark Beast or Undead out of your trash. So if you're in a position where you've had to build out in the main, you've got a Fenrir in trash because it was hit there in security, you've got no way to get into it through the conventional swing Soul Guard discarded means, this gives you a way to still do that. You can still swing, gain the memory with your Soul Guard, and go into your Fenrir out of trash. It's just a emergency button. And then we're following that up with 2 Fangmon. Same principle really, just ways to trigger effects. This one, you really want to do it with your Hellugar instead, just, you know, as a way to be more safe with it. And then 3 BT8 block Automons, it's got Rush. That's the real reason, it's got Rush. So we play these off of the Solugar and Fenrilooga effects, and we just swing away. If you Digivolve into a Solugarmon, you play one of these out from trash, assuming you have, you know, at least one, preferably 2. You swing it, it dies in security, while you're just bringing it back when you go into the Fenrir for just more aggression pushes. This deck, I've jokingly called it like a Vanguard deck, because of how many times you can swing in a turn with it. It's from a empty board when you promote. I believe it's like 8 or 9 max. And then to finish off our level 4s, of course, we're running the Lugarmon. It's a way to facilitate a climb. If you swing, you discard the Lugar, you go into it from the Bowmon, you gain an extra card draw, as well as a memory in the process, setting up some things, and then it, like Lugar, it has the same inheritable as Luga, in that it will gain a memory when a SOC or Dark Beast is played. Now going into the level 5s, only playing 5 Lugarmon. It's a very good card with its popping, its drawing, its setting up the trash, but I feel it's comfortable at 3 instead of 4. It's not what you want to see, but sometimes it has to be the one that you do. But our next one we are playing a full set of, and that is the Soul Lugarmon. One of the bread and butter pieces to facilitate the OTK if you get lucky enough and don't check anything or have to go through a bunch of blockers. So when digivolving, you'll play a level 3 Dark Beast or SOC out. If you have IG under it via Mind Link, you'll get to play out a level 4. And then when attacking by trashing a card in your hand, gain 1 memory. More often than not, you're swinging with this, you're trashing a Fenrilooga in hand to digivolve into it from the Bowmon, which will then unsuspend, which will then play out additional Dark Beast, triggering the inheritable to unsuspend. And then the last of the level 5s, I'm playing 2 Chimeramon. With how many level 4s you can recur, it is so easy to go into a Chimeramon for game, or even 2 Chimeramons potentially. Now, yeah. We're playing the boy, the full set of the Fenrilooga. It's the only level 6 we're playing. It's the only one that we need to play. It's a very interesting one in terms of what it does with memory, seeing as it will set your opponent to not starting on their turn until they are at 3 memory, letting you have an additional, essentially 1 to 2 memory to play with in a turn. You gain a lot of memory back through your inheritable, so it's usually fairly safe to play it out, do your thing. The biggest issue is if you check something that de-digivolves in security, or if you unfortunately checked something bigger, or they had a blocker 3 tau, which hopefully none of those situations comes up because it hurts when it does. But anyways, when digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Dark Beast or SOC trait Digimon from your trash. If IG is in the source, you can play up to 3. It's an amazing card, just let you build a board out of nowhere, facilitate things with Chimeramon. If you've got Black Automons that might be dead in hand because you need them in the trash, you can bring back level 3s, evolve them, swing. And then when attacking once per turn, by deleting one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, unsuspend this Digimon. For each of your Digimon, add up to 1, or add 1 to the level this effect may choose, and then your opponent's turn doesn't start until they're at 3. You can pop things very big, very quickly with the Fenry. It can at times be a slow deck. There are a lot of decks that like to go wide and everything, so we are playing 1 Death X just because. It's still a very, very good card in this format, especially with how big of a board D-Brigade can build. Going into the Tamers now, we're playing 1 mat. We do discard a couple of cards, so having a memory setter that synergizes to gain additional memory, great. And then only 3 Analog Youth. I feel it's fine at 3, giving that 4th one up to have that, the Death X or the mat. Really helps a lot, I feel. It's a card you want to see, but you don't want to see only it. It helps set up to trash and fix your hand. And then, of course, a full set of IG Nagasumi. The new purple tamer out of Blast Ace. Security, when it's checked, you get to play it out, just like all the other tamers. Start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon in play, gain 1 memory. So just get to gain a memory. And then it has main phase, Mind Link, until the end of turn. Because Mind Link will stay until it ends if you decide to at the end of turn. Which brings in the inheritable. When this Digimon has the Dark Animal or SOC trait, it gains Alliance and Blocker, and then end of turn, all turns, you may play one IAG from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost, which will trigger your Luga and your Lugar. Do note though that if you have a Dracmon out, you cannot Mind Link the IG because it does require Dark Animal or SOC trait. That SOC trait will be coming up at a later point. I've got some ideas involving that. And then to finish things off, just the full set of Wisdom training. The card is so good. It reimburses its cost because you're paying 2, and then later you're going to reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. So you're paying, it pays for itself essentially. You get to flip 2, take anything that you need. So maybe you need that IG in hand, maybe you need a mat, maybe you see a Missed Memory that we play the 2 of, and you want to be able to facilitate some milling. Whatever you feel like grabbing, as long as you can grab it, you're good. There is a chance to whiff if you go Analog Youth, or Analog Youth Chimeramon, or Double Chimeramon. But that's the deck. Let's get into that shuffle. Alright, and let's go ahead and start getting the shuffling in for this portion of the video. So our roll is a 3, opponent's roll is a 15, so we are obviously going second. Let's get this shuffle underway. This is the part of the video where I just sit here and talk and try to make something entertaining when it's not, because people just want to see how the deck works, and that's fine. There's plenty of great content creators out there that make videos showcasing how a combo works. This one, we're just showing the profile and how it gets there. Alright, so let's see if we're mulliganing. Fenry, Wisdom, Drac, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Matt. Ooh, this is honestly kind of a rough one, because at the same time we do have the Memory Setter, we do have a Dig, or actually 2 Digs, and then we have 2 Fenrys ready to go for later, but we have no other pieces. This would be a hand that I would probably mulligan, but for the sake of it, we're going to see how it looks without first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's say Pun does what's probably going to be the more typical thing now, putting us to 2. So we draw for turn, and that draw is a Hell Lugar. So kind of slowly getting there. So we hatch our egg, and then we're going to have to pass the opponent to 3, or we could choke them at 1. I would prefer to get the Wisdom going first just to see. So we're going to split a Soul and a Fenry. We can telegraph that we've got the Fenry, or maybe we aren't telegraphing. We grab the Soul, put the Fenry to the bottom, and then play our Dracmon. We flip 1, we flip 2, we flip 3, and then proceed to go Ow. Now, to be fair, we would have lost the Analog Youth no matter which way we went, so the Analog Youth is going to go to the bottom. Now this is the point of, do we need the Luga more, or do we need the Lugar more? Well, we haven't seen an IG or anything yet, so with our hand looking like this, probably would grab the Lugar, put the Luga to trash. I'm just gonna go, they're gonna do their thing. Let's assume that the Dracmon survives for it and that they only check 1 into a Chimeramon. Let's say that, you know, all said and done, we get past 3. So we draw. Well, we've got a rookie now that we can do some stuff with, potentially. So we'll lose out on the hit, evolve in the back. Hey, we drew the IG, so that's already a start. Let's see that there's some stuff that, you know, we don't really want to deal with. So let's crack the Wisdom training to evolve into that Lugarmon. Our draw off of that would be Hell Lugar, so we're kind of setting up for a few things. And then For 3, the Hellugar. Draw a Dracmon off of that. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I missed that. So before we did that, we would have played the IG, linked him up, and then passed the opponent to 3. This would still been the draw. We had to do these things smartly. So in the turn, we unattach the IG, which is then going to gain 1 memory. So at least it's not a full gain. We'll lose our stack. In the process, we'll draw 1. Okay, we'll draw 2. Not looking too bad. And then we'll get that Lugamon that got pitched earlier back. So now we can start discarding some SOCs and Dark Beasts. So we're going to discard 1, we're just going to discard 2. Just to be safe. Yeah. So we discard those 2. Opponent's now going to do their thing. Let's say that they check, 3 this time. So we got a Wisdom Training set. We got a Soul Lugar, but if we don't see a champion, even if we get past the 3, let's say they're being really cool, so we don't see a champion, we're kind of sitting in a really bad spot now. So looking with what we got in hand, the safer bet would probably be to hard play us out a Dracmon, flip 1, flip 2, flip 3. Well, we're going to take this one to hand. We already have a Soul, so we'll bot deck, and then we'll put the fast one into the trash. Alright, so then we crack our Wisdom Training. We evolve our Fangmon into our Dracmon into a Fangmon. We draw for Digivolution. Hit a Wisdom Training. We're gonna link up now with IG. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. So we have targets and trash for a couple of different things. So we got our IG, we got our Dracmon, we got our Balmon, everything else. We're going to end up, unfortunately, giving our opponent a whole lot doing this play, but when we swing, since we're already in a losing spot, why not? Let's return that Soul Lugarmon. We'll discard that Soul Lugarmon. We're going to trigger the Balmon to go into the Soul Lugarmon. We'll draw our card for Evolution. We've already passed our opponent to 3. Soul Effect is now going to kick in. We'll play out that Fascomon. Attempt to get a blocker. And we still have our Dracmon waiting to resolve. And earlier, we did discard a Fenrilooga. So going into the Fenrilooga now. Putting our opponent to a grand total of 7. Playing out 1. Playing out 2. And only 2 because everything else is not a Dark Beast, unfortunately. In the process, unsuspending. Suspending here for the Alliance because we still have not resolved our Alliance effect yet. And be at the part of, damn, if only we had some way to gain some memory back. Because while we do have blocker with IG, realistically, at 7 memory, 1 security, 1 blocker, 2 blockers, we weren't doing a whole lot, that one. That is a neat little thing that you can do thanks to Dracmon, being able to let you go into things out of the trash. So if you're in a stuck situation, and you've got these 2, or if you even have the one of Sangloth, which is the entire reason that I run it, sometimes you really want to get to that Fenrilooga, and you've got no other option than to go into it from the trash. Alright, So that was obviously a hand that should have been mulliganed, and thankfully, that is what we are doing now. We're going to show that mulligan. Once we, of course, remember to always put your eggs back. I even keep mine in different sleeves for this reason. That's staying in just because it's funny. Get our shuffle in. Alright, let's hope. And see. So this time around, Soul, Chimera, Mist, Drac, and Fenrir. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Don't know what that security is. We'll find out when we get there. Alright, so same situation. Opponent's gonna do whatever, play a training probably. Just because of how prevalent they are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We draw our 6th card, which is a Fasco. The BT13 Fasco, which actually kind of makes us a little bit better. So now we can evolve here, draw a card. We drew into another Dracmon, so now it's just a matter of, hey, where do I want to choke and set some stuff up at? So getting these memory boosts though is still really good. So we mill 1, there's an IG, there's a Fasco blocker. I keep saying Fasco, okay. And then our card drawn would be an IG. We're still good. Opponent's gonna do whatever in this situation. Say we get past the 3 just because they don't really want to risk anything at 1 memory. Cool, so we got 5 men to work with. We got a Fenrir now. We'll promote this guy just in case. Just in case it gets there. So we'll take the 3 memory. We'll spin it into a Dracmon, which is going to flip Wisdom, Luga. Well, so we only got 2 hits here. So Luga's going to go here. Wisdom is going to go on the bottom, and Luga's going to go in the trash. So we still got this memory right here to work with. We have our different things going on over here. With how important these pieces are, I kind of don't want to be in a spot of like, oh, okay, well, that's something. So I would probably swing this into security. Most likely it would die. I'll lose out on the Baumon ability later, but draw into a Lugarmon. So I think I would probably just play out the IG. Wait a couple of turns, see if we can and everything. Alright. Opponent flips into an analog youth. So we spend 1, we spend 2, we spend 3. We're going to lose these 2, take our only option. They check the next one, and they're probably got an effect that's going to get rid of the Dracmon anyways. So, say we're at 2, Argo. We draw another miss, we hatch. Beginning of main, IG. We gain some memory. And now it's a interesting one, just because of what we have and what we don't have simultaneously. So playing with what we got, see if we can dig for anything. We're of course going to evolve Baumon into Lugamon. Okay. Lock-Auto isn't the worst. Not the best, but isn't the worst. So then we go with our Dracmon. Let's see what we spin. Fenrir, Matt, oops, and Death X. So now I'm not sure on the precise ruling of Dracmon. I'm not sure if it's add to hand or goes to trash. The first line of it is it goes to trash. So unfortunately, I feel like that is one of those ones where it's just like, well, Fenrir to trash, crap, kind of deal, you know? Now, we still got things we can do. Let's pop this miss that we can pop. We'll gain our 2 memory. Go into a Lugar. Fenriloogamon. Draw a card. Analog Youth, we're at 0. Do we have anything in the trash that could help us out here? Kind of. But we're also in a position where it's really not going to matter. So we link up. We got the Soul Lugar in hand. 3, go over to the Soul Lugar. Draw our card. Oh, there's the Hell Lugar. Alright, so then we got our Soul effect. So we're going to play out that blocker. And hope kind of deal. So when we play that, we gain the memory. And just to be safe, probably detach IG. Actually, no, it would not matter, because we do have the IG in trash. We'll miss out. This is a point where it's just like, do we keep the IG for the blocker or rely on it coming out of trash with the Luga when it promotes? And honestly, I'd probably rather have the memory just with the nature of how things are. Alright, so opponent does their thing. They swing a third time, hit the IG, so we could have left the blocker, and then let's say we were able to block one of the attacks for a grand total of 4 swings. And then, of course, the opponent's going to have a copper stack, so they put it to like 4. So we gain that memory. We start our turn, and Fangmon. Okay, so we can kind of get there. So we've got the IG's gaining memory. We've got the Lugamon, which is going to tuck the IG out of the trash to gain another memory. And we got a lot to work with now, memory-wise. I would really like to get the Black Gauntlet into the trash, but unfortunately, with how things are looking, the best course of action I could do is probably evolve into the Fangmon, draw a card, Analog Youth. Analog Youth would honestly probably been the better card to start with, so we flip, we flip, we flip. We'll take the Soul now. And we've got enough memory now with all those that we can do some goofy things. Okay, so we're going to evolve into the Soul. We're at 3 memory now. Draw a card. Soul's effect is going to trigger. We'll play out a Fangmon. Because I believe... No, we'll play out the Lugamon instead. We'll leave that Fangmon on top because it's going to be coming up. Alright. So now, when we swing... Oh, and we would also gain a memory back from the Luga. Okay, now, we swing, we have the Soul effect to pitch a card to gain memory. So of course we're going to pitch Fenrilooga, which is going to gain us some memory. And then because of Balmon, we will... From 5, go down to 1. Draw our card. Our card was another Lugamon. Or Lugarmon. We're going to go ahead and pre-prep this. So we're going to play out 1 level 4. 1 level 3. And an additional level 3. Alright, now we are still in the process of doing everything, doing our swings. We've already gained the memory that we can gain. We've unsuspended, and now we're going to Alliance, because we still can, using the Lugamon over here. So we got 2 checks. And we're unsuspended. So then we swing again. We'll alliance with Fangmon this time over here. Another 2 checks. So our opponent is now down to, oh, and we would have deleted something to stand a 3rd time. Opponent is now at a grand total of 1 security, assuming that there was no increasing, everything like that. So now we evolve onto over here with the Black Gauntlet. Black Gauntlet can swing. The Fenrilooga can swing. Any sequence here will take that security, and then if all else fails, Chimeramon for game. That is the deck. It is straightforward, but at the same time, very interesting with its string, taking into account that this is the part that I still have yet to do anything to, and we're pushing into 20 minutes. So that being said, if you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Leave me a comment where I can improve. Come hang out with us over at twitch.tv/GenTaxis, where we're doing our thing. A lot more Digimon content lately. The gauntlet's still going on. Later.